Let's go to Kevin in Oxford. Kevin, what would you like to say this morning?
Morning, Ollie. Quick one here, just to bring a couple of facts into the equation. I'm interested in facts, not fiction.
Yes, me too.
And also, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions, because you seem to have all the answers. I've been speaking to Nick Ferrari for 2 decades on knife crime.
Okay.
And I've been saying for 2 decades it should be mandatory 5 years for carrying a knife. And if you use a knife, it should be 15 years and per se. Because what will happen there is that little Johnny will say to Paul, do you know what? Did you hear that little Mickey got 5 years for carrying a knife? I'm not going to carry a knife. I don't want 5 years. Dad, stop me.
Kevin, you said you were interested in facts, not feelings. I tell you that Doctor...
No, you've got to.
No,
and also,
I'm coming back to you on this just for a point, right. Kevin. So
now,
you just need to let me respond to your point, my friend. You said you're interested in facts, not feelings, and we're talking about whether or not harsher sentencing can reduce the sort of the severity with which, or the frequency with which people offend. And when I tell you that Dr. Baz Dreisinger has done a study into this fact, looking across societies to try and establish whether or not harsher sentencing has any correlation with reducing recidivism, so reoffending rates, and found that there was none, that's a fact, not a feeling, isn't it?
Can I speak?
If you're going to respond to what I just said, yeah.
Well, I will respond. According to The Guardian, allegedly, black people are 4 times more likely to be murdered in England and Wales than white people. Why do you think that is, Ollie? I'm asking you a simple question.
Why do you think it is?
No, I'm asking you. I asked the question first. You answer, and I'll answer mine.
I've spoken extensively about this over the course of the last 45 minutes. And
right.
Kevin, what I said...
Sorry, could you repeat it? Why do you think,
I will.
According to The Guardian, allegedly, that black people are 4 times more likely to be murdered in the UK?
Do you want to listen?
According to knife crime.
Do you want to listen to my answer, Kevin, or do you just want to talk?
No, listen, please.
So, whilst yes, it's a alarming and upsetting statistic to see that, despite only making up about 13% of London's total population, black Londoners account for 45% of the knife murder victims, 61% of knife murder perpetrators, and 53% of knife crime perpetrators. But I think that when you zoom out and you look at the history of serious youth violence in this country that goes back 200 years, and you tell me about the penny mobs or the razor gangs or the schemies in Glasgow, most of whom were white, if you want to think that race is relevant, you've got to tell me what the problem was with the white community in Glasgow. And for me, it would appear to be that the commonality between the two is poverty.
Well, I like your facts. They're very good. I mean, you've hit some amazing figures there. You're very correct with that. I'm appreciative of that, Ollie. Thank you. In my opinion, you want to know my opinion?
I do.
You said about youth clubs not being operative anymore. In the areas that I used to work, in and around London, the suburbs, they closed a lot of the youth centre because of the violence perpetrated on the youth leaders by the youths.
Kevin,
a couple were hospitalised. I can get them research at data centre.
Yeah, sure. We can talk about youth services in a moment, but I would say that, considering that you asked me about the rate of knife crime in London and how it connects to black people, and I gave you my answer, can I ask you what yours would have been?
Yes, I believe. I think there's more of a culture in the black community to use knives than in the white community.
So you're just a racist then?
No, you said that. I didn't say that.
I know full well I said that.
So
you just think that you said
making a statement, I'm a racist.
If you say that black people are more culturally inclined to stab each other, then yes, I will 100% call you a racist.
According to my research and my experience in life of growing up in and around the London suburb and travelling globally, yes, I in my youth, I didn't know anybody that was stabbed. As I've got older, there's a lot of people. I work all around Camden, Hampstead, all around those areas. Camden now, you don't want to be. I mean, you may have a look in Camden on it. It could be within your inner circles. Who knows? a bit far away from the Westminster bubble for you. But I think you need to get out and do a bit more research on it. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Thank you for your time as well. Yeah, I would suggest that you probably need to get out a little bit more as well. Do a little bit more research yourself. It's telling that when I spoke to you about violence, serious youth violence in Glasgow, you were quite keen to move the conversation on to youth services and else. You didn't really have an answer to that point. And when asked, your idea that black people are just culturally more inclined to commit knife crime, I'm afraid, Kevin, there is no other word for it. That is racism.